Hola clase, vamos a hablar de la unidad 4, la salud y el bienestar. I've just posted everything for this November unit, and I want you to first of all note that the calendar that I posted has kind of squished everything together so that everything comes due before Thanksgiving break. I didn't want anything coming due over the break, but I also did not want to carry the unit over into December because December is when we'll be doing the midterm. So that's the first thing I wanted you to note. Now, I've had a few questions from people this month about seeming to not know that things were posted or that things were due. So I want to point out that you can see things in Parent Portal. Probably in about a week, I'll be posting these assignments for Unidad 4 in Parent Portal, but Unidad 3 is already posted. So you can see all the due dates there. Or I think what some of you are doing is notice here it says stream. And when you hit stream, things are just kind of willy-nilly, like however they were posted. So I would recommend that you always click on classwork. When you click on classwork, it's going to throw you to the top of the page. Over here you have the units that we're working on, and I will always have the one that we're working on right now will be on the top, and the next one we're going to be working on will be below that. And then after that, it's like, I hope it's not too confusing. I wanted it to be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, etc. But because I'm posting it early, it shows up below Unidad 3. So anyway, Unidad 3 is here. Then you have all the assignments in order. You can see to the right the due dates. I would like to, so you can see all the due dates there on the right. And then this is what I've just posted in Unidad 4, which is what this little video is about. In Unidad 4, you've got the calendar and initial information, just like I have been putting for each of the units. I give you a little heads up. Make sure that you're working on the grammar, which is posted here throughout the entire course, because the grammar this whole unit is over basically this information. So if you look here, I've got, I'll just go over this very quickly. The first point in the grammar for this month is distinguishing between por and para. Now, por and para are very difficult. There are whole books actually written on when to use, the different por versus para. So we're just basically doing an overview for Spanish 3. I've copied a little screenshot here that I pulled off of Google Images that shows some of the main differences between por and para, some of the main times that you would use each one. And each reason, you've got the acronym here, well, actually, that's not an acronym, is it? CLOFIT-GM. Not really. But then over here, perfect, you do have a nice little acronym for this one. And also, each reason has an example of it in use. So where it says cause reason, then you have an example. El hombre murió por falta de agua. The man died because of a lack of water. There is also a video that you can watch right here on the difference between these two. And there's kind of a lesson that's written and then a quiz that you can take that I would just do it over and over until you've mastered it. If you master that, actually the questions that I ask on the test are I pull them right off of here. I edit them a bit so that the vocabulary matches what we're doing for the unit, but the basic idea for the question I get off of these quizzes. So I highly recommend that you do these quizzes that I provide. Then you've got commands. Now commands, again, that's another thing that's a little tricky. On commands, you've got the tu. If you want to tell somebody to do something using tu, the informal you, then, and it's a regular verb, then this is it. This is the chart that you would have to memorize or have handy as you're doing the work. If you're going to use usted, notice usted for affirmative and for negative have the same endings. Now in tu, it doesn't. Affirmative has one ending, negative has another ending. But with usted, affirmative and negative have the same endings. Then you've got the ustedes, the plural. Now you're not doing a plural with tu, because the tu plural would be with vosotros, and we're not going to do that. So the tu, we're just doing the singular. The usted, you'll be going over the affirmative negative, and the plural affirmative negative with ustedes. And then below, I have given you a chart using some, like I said here, this list is not exhaustive. It's just a few of their regular forms. I've included here a great lesson and a video using the tu, a video using usted, and then lots of practice that you can just do over and over. Like I said, have this handy and do that practice. And moving down to this quite difficult verb tense. This is a difficult verb tense because we don't really have this verb in English. This verb is only in Spanish. Well, not only in Spanish, but it's not in English. Making a recording. The subjunctive would be in English similar to it is important that you be on time. You would say you are on time, or I am on time, but when I say it is important that in English, grammatically you would say it is important that you be on time. Now that's basically what subjunctive is in Spanish. There are certain verbs that trigger the subjunctive. I've put a chart here, this awesome chart that I pulled off Google Images. The acronym is WEIRDO, which if you're in a base class at a base school, they often will use this acronym to talk about the different types of verbs that trigger the subjunctive tense. The main one that you're going to be focusing on for this lesson is further down here, impersonal expressions. So notice that here it says impersonal expressions. Also, this says subjunctive with noun clauses. I would just go over all of these verbs, have this chart handy, and then, of course, watch the YouTube video, take the quizzes, watch the video, take the quizzes, use the chart until you feel comfortable with how to employ this tense. When do you need to use this tense? Because coming up further in this course, you're going to have to determine, do you need subjunctive or do you not need subjunctive? And if you don't have a good handle on when to use subjunctive, you won't know when not to. That pretty much covers what the grammar is over this month. Again, I think I already showed you the calendar. And then if we go down to the first activity, the vocabulary works just like it does every month. You have 3 columns. I want you to make a separate flashcard set in Quizlet for each column. So one set for column 1, one set for column 2, and you're going to name your sets. This one will be named 4.1, this one will be named 4.2, etc. And I always have these little videos, how to use Quizlet, how to use Google whatever. I have videos at the beginning of every lesson to show you how to use each one. Your escuchan for this month is a patient-doctor conversation, and then you have this this quiz right here. Now, I don't know why you guys not all of you aren't taking advantage of taking this test over and over until you make 100. Don't stop on the first try. Keep doing it and make sure you hit submit when you're finished with the test. So escuchan. Then we got the vocab test. Now, you know, you're going to do your vocab cards here. And then when the day after the vocab cards are due, I will list here 3 sets that I've created, just in case you have made a mistake on your sets. So for example, 3.1, here's your, you've done yours, and then I post my 3, if you see that. So I'll be doing the same thing for Unit 4. I'll be posting my sets of vocab here. And then on the day of the assessment, which the link will post on 11/6, I'll post the link here, and you will have until the 8th. So you have 2 days. It's a little faster this time because we're trying to squish it all up. So you'll take the assessment. You can only take it, oh no, you can take it as many times as you want, but if you don't make it by the time it expires, that's it. The only way to make it up is come into the Forsyth Academy, arrange a time with me, I'll print the test, I'll proctor it, and you take it here. Very complicated, but that's the only way to make that one up. The lectura this month is over La Historia de Chocolate, and down at the bottom, you'll notice that you have a audio, so you can listen to it being read. You could listen to it while you're reading it. And then you, again, have an assessment here that you can take as many times as you want until you make 100. Don't stop with the first time. It's crazy if you don't just make 100 on it. Then 4.5 grammar. Very quickly, the link will post 11/14. It's due on 11/18, so that means you have about 3 to 4 days to finish it. You don't finish it in that amount of time, you're out of luck. The only way to make that up is I will replace your lowest test grade with your midterm. So you make sure you do these and you do them well the first time round. This is over this material that I posted at the beginning of your the Unit 4 beside the calendar. Then 4.6 hablamos. This is a Flipgrid activity. Please contact me if you're having trouble. Don't wait until after it's due. I've named the topic here. I've put numbers in, which says basically that I need you to, I need you to do both of these things. I need you to do both of these things and this. Basically, there are 5 things that you need to cover. Plus, you need to use an imperative and you need to use a subjunctive. And I've given an example, es importante que whatever. You're going to just include that in your 30-second little blurb that you're going to do on Flipgrid. I've been talking really fast because I have to do this in 15 minutes and I don't want it to be long. So good luck. When you do the Flipgrid, remember it has to be on a device that has a camera and a microphone, and all you have to do is click here. You don't have to be a member of Flipgrid. You click this link. It should take you directly to the, well, I'll show you. You click here. This is the password, Forsyth 2018 exclamation. You click here. It takes you to this site. You can do this on your phone. I'm typing the password 2018 exclamation point. Let's go. Oops. Let's do that again. Forsyth 2018 exclamation point. Oh, yeah, exclamation point. That better work. Yes. So then it takes you to this page. Again, you have the instructions, says 4.6 right there. If it doesn't say 4.6, you're not on the right page. And then go down here, click, and start recording your video, and then just follow the prompts. It's very simple, very straightforward. If you have any questions, you can email me, you can message me in It's Learning, you can text me on the number that I've provided. There's so many ways to get in touch with me, so don't let the time pass without getting in touch. Very important. So, hasta luego. Ya terminamos con esta explicación. Espero que ayudó y muy buena suerte y que trabajen duro. Bueno, chao.